guys, I'm out on my back deck. It's a gorgeous day here in South Carolina today. It's finally cooled off a little bit, which is kind of surprising for the middle of August. I'm sure it'll heat back up before it cools off for good for the fall. Normally August is our hottest month here, and man, this summer has just been brutal. The temperatures have been close to 100 almost all summer, and some days over 100, with very little rain. So it's really been rough. It's been rough on the garden, and I've watered my garden every day and taken as good of care of it as I could. But nevertheless, the heat was just really rough. It was hard to keep my vines healthy, the leaves healthy, but we still had great success. We got a lot of squash, and we got a lot of cucumbers. We did a lot of canning, a lot of pickling. We got some melons. We got zucchini. We're getting some tomatoes. We haven't got a lot of tomatoes yet. I'm still hopeful that I will get some. I have a hard time growing tomatoes, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at it, and we might actually get a harvest of tomatoes before the end of the season. But we began growing in, I told you guys that I began planting. We bought just a small, what do you call it? Greenhouse. We bought a small greenhouse, and I have it here on my deck. I'm going to show you right now where I have all the different kinds of seeds growing in it. We're going to try to get them as big as we can and then put them into a greenhouse out in my yard whenever fall comes. I mean, whenever cold weather comes, when frost comes, we'll be moving them into a greenhouse. But I'm just going to go ahead now and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Okay, this is the little greenhouse that we got at Big Lots. And we actually got this thing on clearance for only $15. Normally it was $30. If you're interested in anything like this, they may still be on clearance at the Big Lots near you. We're hoping they're going to go to 75% off, and then we may get one more for the deck. But this is really small, and the only thing that we bought this for was to do our seedlings in them. And as you can see, we have a lot of seedlings growing. I'll get closer in a minute so that you can see how they're doing. We only planted some a week ago, some 2 weeks ago, and most of them are doing really well. So we'll need to, not right now, but soon we'll need to transplant them into bigger pots. We also bought a bigger greenhouse, and we also got it from Big Lots, and it's also on clearance right now. It was only $80 and right now $79, and right now they have them, I think it's $34. We're hoping that those will also go to 75% off, and we'll still be able to locate, and then we'll just buy as many of them as we can find, and we're going to let that do until we can build bigger greenhouses. So that's our plan. So just to get us started, because we're starting so late, we just want to do what we can do to make sure that we have a good crop in for this winter. Okay, I'm going to move closer and let you see the plants. We have all kinds of things. I have cucumbers growing, and lettuce and cabbage. I even have, if you can see it, we're experimenting with hydroponics in a very minute way there. Actually, I have a cucumber that's doing very well in that little miniature hydroponics, because we are going to move to aquaponics later as soon as we can, but we're beginning just, of course, with soil till we figure out what we're doing and get everything working, and then we're going to try to move over to an aquaponics system. I'm going to pull a chair up closer so I can sit down and get lower here. We have all kinds of things growing here. There's some cherry tomatoes. Actually, they're large cherry tomatoes. We have some Alaskan peas growing, and all of those are going to have to be put into bigger containers very soon. And so all of our gardening starting out is going to be container gardening. We're not going to try to do any of it in the house. We're going to try to do all of it in a greenhouse. Let's see if you can see this. This is green beans, actually, if I can get them. So those only have been about a week, and they're just sprouting up there really quick. I put 3 seeds in a little cup, just trying to make sure that we had something actually growing, and they all came up, so I'm going to have to pull some of those up so that I only have one in a cup, and that just about kills me having to pull anything, but that's the way it goes. I just wanted to make sure that we got good germination, and we really did. I think that's cabbage, and I couldn't even believe how well those onions were doing, yellow onions. They were seeded on the 7th, and they're just sprouting up. They look so dried up. I swear I thought these things will not grow. They just look so dried up, but man, they just took off. I couldn't even believe it. I planted some strawberries, but they're really not doing anything yet. If I can find one. And hey, I may not be doing this right. I don't even know if you can see it. It's brown. It matches the color of the soil. But right there in the middle, there's a brown, dried up strawberry, and those are supposed to come back to life. So I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm gonna baby on them and see what I can make happen with those. Pray over them. So, well, that's it as far as that goes. I do have some buckets in another place that has carrots growing in them. Today I'm going to be planting some, I was going to show you my garden, so I'm panning over the garden in my yard. Matter of fact, I think I'm just going to cut the camera off and walk down to it. Okay, guys, what I was saying before I cut the camera off a while ago is that today I'm going to be planting some radishes in buckets, and I'm going to be planting some more herbs and just a few different things. As you can see, I still have some squash growing. We still have tomatoes growing. All of our zucchini is finished, and so I've already pulled those plants up. Guys, we use a method. I haven't really seen anybody else doing this, but we lay down cardboard between our rows as mulch to keep grass from growing in the garden, so that we wouldn't have to hoe the garden. And actually it worked really well, and we used that just because it was free and it was easy access for us, so we thought we would give that a try. And actually it worked pretty well. You know, I really didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. So you know, we may do that again, we may not, just depending on whatever resources we have available to us. We're trying to do things this easy, cheap, and sustainable. We want to be able to use as much product right here from our land as possible. Okay, I'm just going to walk a little bit, hopefully. Guys, I've had to record this like 4 or 5 times. I'm not used to walking around with an iPad outside recording, and every time I do, one time I had my finger in front of the camera. It was just awful. So hopefully this time I'm getting it. You can see there, we do have some tomatoes. The plants look healthy, they're bushy, but they're just not giving me many tomatoes. So I'm going to have to keep working on it. The leaves are turning yellow. Like I say, a lot of these are just finished. Some of them are just finished, and I can just go ahead and pull those plants up and replant. I saw that Walmart had, right now for fall planting, they have broccoli and cauliflower, lettuces, things like that. So I may get those and throw those into the ground. If I do, I'm going to have to do it really soon in order for them to mature before the first frost. Or I may just go ahead and buy some and put them in buckets. I'm just not sure yet. But you can see I still got some squash growing on those. That looks kind of pathetic there. That was where my cucumbers were, and they're dried up. They're pretty much finished. I do have some more plants down there that I planted a little bit later, and actually they still have cucumbers on them, so we're still getting a few. Not enough to pickle right now, but we are still getting some. This is my melons. They're mostly, I do see a few in there, small ones still growing. Maybe we'll be able to harvest a few more. they're actually pretty big, a couple of them, so I'm pretty sure we will. But the ones that we've gotten maybe 10 out of the garden, and they've been really sweet and good. The melons, watermelons, we've gotten about as many of those, and they've been really sweet and good. And I was really surprised, as hot as it's been, and the way the leaves just started thinning out, drying up so early. I was really surprised that we got as many as we did, and that they were as sweet and as good as they were. Okay, well, that's it. That's my garden. Not very big. You can see that I have a compost. Well, maybe you can see that I have a compost bin. I've never composted before because we've always planted straight into the garden. I've never planted in containers before. This is our first time trying that. And so I definitely want to compost to make my own soil. So actually my nephew is bringing me a load of pallets for free, and so that's awesome. So I'm going to use those, and we're going to build 2 or 3 bins to compost in. But for now I just have that one trash can, and that's kind of cool because we drilled holes in it, and I can just lay it down and roll it around a little bit, and that helps to make the compost. And that's, guys, that's just something new that we're learning to do. Actually, everything that we're doing is this is all brand new to us. So I'm not trying to teach anybody. I'm learning myself, and maybe you guys can see something I'm doing wrong, and make suggestions, help me out some along the way. But we do plan just to kind of show what we're doing, and just to encourage other people to also to grow your own food. I thought I would show you this too, what we're doing inside. I completely forgot about this till I come back in. I watched a guy's video, and he showed in the video how to cut saplings from your tomato plants and to start those in cups. So cloning tomatoes. So we did that, and it's been, I don't know, a couple weeks now. I'm still waiting on, I'm trying to get the cup that I'm holding. Where is it? Oh, there you are. Where I'm watching these cups to see when they begin to root, and when I see roots running all through them, then I'll know that they're ready to put into like 5-gallon buckets, 1 per bucket, to grow tomatoes in our greenhouse. And so that was just an inexpensive and easy way that we learned to grow tomatoes. So I'm hoping that will work out. And we're also learning how, you can see there, this is seeds from the cantaloupe that we grew in the garden, and we learned how to just put those in water and let them set for a couple days, and then spread them out on paper towels and let them dry, and to make to have all of our own seeds and not to have to purchase seeds. We're really just trying to get everything so it's sustainable right here off of our land, and just, to make sure that we can grow food and, provide food for ourselves, and to provide food for other people that needs it. Well, that's it. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.